right, good afternoon, everybody. This is Brent Phillips, VP of Marketing at Paya, and thank you for joining today. We're here to talk about integrated payment highlights. We're talking about our integrated payment solution and a couple of features that we're really excited about that help improve business performance. With me on the call today, I'll have Paul Briot, Director of Partner Support and Premier Accounts, and Leon Harris, who is our Director of Product Management. So why don't we jump right in? So first thing we're going to talk about, just a quick overview of Paya. Many of you are familiar with us, but just in case you're not, we'll give you a little bit of background on the business, how we work and who we work with, a little bit about Paya Connect, which is our integrated payments platform. And then we'll talk about two of our key ERP partnerships and the integration work we do with both Sage and Acumatica. And then we'll jump into the solution highlights. So Paul will talk to us about level 3 optimization, and then Leon will give us an overview of e-invoicing, and we have a brief demo for you as well. By the way, we're going to do Q&A at the end. So if anyone does have questions, please use your Q&A panel option. You can get to that through your control panel. Usually it's there on as an icon or in the ellipsis. You can click that for more and see an option for Q&A or chat. We'll be looking at both of those. All right, so jumping right in. So Paya is a fairly young company. We've been around for a few years as Paya, but if you notice at the top, we talk about leading commerce enablement provider with 25 years in integrated payments experience. So this is something we're really excited about and proud of. Our legacy is actually from Sage. We were part of Sage as Sage Payment Solutions for many years and carved out about 3 years ago as an independent company and are now operating under the brand Paya. And another milestone that we're very excited about is that we are now publicly traded on NASDAQ as of October of last year. So we're publicly held. Currently, we're processing about 40 billion in annual transaction volume. So this is up from about 35 billion this time last year. So continuing to grow, very excited about the work we're doing with all of you and all of our clients. This next one is something we're also very proud of. The architecture of our technology is what we call API first. The business is really, or the platform is really designed to connect easily to other systems or to integrate into work streams of other business platforms. And so with our ISV partners and our ERP partners, we connect in and we're able to process information very smoothly. And that's something that we're very excited about. And we have a lot of different integrations through a lot of different partners on the ISV and ERP side. And we're currently based in Atlanta. We've got about 280 employees north of that now, with offices on the Eastern Seaboard as well as the Midwest and Southwest. In terms of value, this is something we like to talk about early on. You know, with our business, we work very closely with business management software providers. And it's very important for us to not only integrate and provide the payment capability, but also stay with them throughout the life of the relationship. We're very proud of the relationships that we build, and they're all very and comprehensive. And we're very excited about the work we do there because not only do we provide the technology and the payment capability, but we work hand in hand to help drive business strategy, to help optimize the platform to meet the needs of the business, and to really help our partners grow as quickly as they can with an integrated payments capability. So, you know, our partner-centric approach is first and foremost in how we engage. We provide support, we provide technical expertise. You know, I mentioned our history being 25 years plus in integrated payments. We've got a bench of experts, both on the technology side as well as the payment side, to help our partners with anything they need. And then the last point here, feature-rich, secure payments platform and ease of integration. We try to integrate as quickly as possible so that the business can be up and running as quickly as they need to be. And we work with you. We have a team of integration specialists that help all of our clients get up and running quickly to the specifications that they need. So just a little bit about Paya Connect. So there's a lot here. I'm not going to spend too much time on all of this, but it's much more than a gateway. We have a lot of functionality that we're very excited to offer our partners. So I already mentioned the library of software integration. So again, API first platform. We've also worked very hard with, within the business to unify card and ACH. So it's a common experience across both types of transactions. And we continue to work on this from a reporting and analysis perspective, as well as ensuring that the experience for administrators and clients is the same. I mentioned our rapid integration, we also work to help with merchant boarding. So anywhere we can automate to ensure that the process is smooth and efficient, and removing inertia from the process as much as we can. We do have invoicing options. We'll talk about e-invoicing shortly. And then we also have a token vault, right, which is really exciting for us because users can store cards on file, methods of payment on file for things like recurring billing, subscription services, or installment payments. And we also have an account updater capability, which allows the automation of contact information or expiration dates on payment methods so that we don't have disruption to recurring billing, for example, making sure that all of that information is up to date and current, and really takes the burden of that off of the user's shoulders, and takes care of it on the back end so that it's non-disruptive. Other things that we offer, we talk about this service and convenience fees, split funding. So being able to do more sophisticated parsing of payment data on the back end to make sure that we can support different business models and unique needs within the industry. And then data-rich portals and reporting. So making sure that we have an environment where users can go to get the analysis they need to improve business performance and to monitor the health of the business as well. In terms of integrations and our partnerships, you can imagine with Sage, coming from Sage, that we are very, we're covering the portfolio end to end. So all of the products from Sage 50 up to Sage X3 and now Sage Intacct, we provide integrated payments for all of these versions, and continue to work in lockstep with them as new versions are released to make sure that we're supporting their latest functionality with our latest functionality. We are Sage's preferred integrated payments partner in the US. As I mentioned, we do credit card and ACH payments. We have a number of different options for portal capabilities. So Paya has provided a customer portal as part of our platform so that users can take advantage of that for payments and reporting. Our platform is PCI certified and cloud-based, right? So highly secure web scale technology. And we do, again, ACH recurring billing. And we'll talk about level 3 shortly for B2B transactions. Paul will walk us through that. So again, Sage is one of our premier partners, and we do a lot of work with them, again, to make sure that our integration and our technology is staying in sync and in line with their products and services. And let me pause for a second. So Paul, you've been in the industry for a long time. I know you've worked closely with Sage. Anything else you'd like to add on the partnership here?
No, I think, I mean, as they continue to scale and move forward, I think that we're kind of in lockstep, like you said, with them, from an enhancement perspective on the software side. And I think that we're able to kind of read and react, so to speak, to make sure that we're offering, the best solutions possible with an integrated payment solution. Like you said, I mean, I think the highlights specifically from the last 12 months here are going to be level 3 again, which we'll talk about. And then also, the e-invoicing and customer portal solutions that we have. That are on our new Paya Connect gateway. So like anything that's integrated to that gateway, gives that customer capability to use those different methods of payment, through an integrated solution. And I think, obviously, with vertical specific or not, I think it's very important, for customers these days to have as many options as possible, and obviously that's directly from the customer's mouth. So hopefully everybody agrees with that.
All right, so that's our Sage integration overview. Next is Acumatica. So we've been working with them very closely for a number of years now, and we've been working similarly to Sage, working in lockstep with Acumatica on their releases ever since 2018 R2. You can see by the icons here, we're covering a number of different industries. So we have commerce, distribution, construction, et cetera. Making sure that we're accommodating the unique needs of these platform versions for their customers. Some other things that we'll call out, we're very excited about. So users or the businesses can accept credit card and ACH payments through Acumatica directly or through the customer portal. And Paya also provides a customer portal option, again, for Acumatica for clients who are not using Acumatica's portal. So there's some optionality there that you can take advantage of. Same basic feature set that we're excited about for the ERP space. So PCI certified, web scale cloud application on the back end for us, ACH recurring billing and level 3, again, to help with business performance and automation, and rich reporting that we make available as part of our package as well. Leon, I know Acumatica is one that you've worked with quite a bit. Is there anything else you'd like to add about this particular partnership?
Yeah, Brett, you pretty much nailed it there. But again, our relationship with Acumatica and our partnership continues to grow deeper. You could reference Acumatica as probably one of the ERP space.
Uh-oh, Leon, you were cutting out there. So,
Yeah, it looks like he might have dropped.
all right. Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll pick up where he left off. I mean, realistically, I mean, I think what he was going to say is, for the most part, like our relationship with Acumatica grows. I mean, we're a little bit sort of young in the integration. You know, meaning we've been around for a couple years now with Acumatica, basically 18 R2 and up. Um, but I think that when we continue to hear from partners and we continue to hear from customers and how robust of a solution that Acumatica is, I feel like it's a it they they have a very strong hold on some of the specifics like that you have on this as far as industry go, Brent, that you have on this slide here. So like I said, just very excited to quite honestly to build out like a larger solution that's going to encompass what our gateway has to offer, but also providing a little bit more for the voice of the customer from that aspect as well. So a lot of exciting things to come, over the first couple quarters here in 2022. And actually, a lot of work is being, kind of completed here at the end of 2021. So very excited to have, this integration as part of Paya's integrated offering, and a lot more to come very soon.
That's exciting. And we will be at Acumatica's summit in January of 22. So that's coming up in just a few months. So we're excited to be a premier sponsor of that as well. So if you're attending the event, please find us. We'd love to talk to you. All right. And with that, let me shift gears a little bit. We've given you a good overview of Paya and the partnerships that we manage from an ERP perspective. Now, I'm going to turn over to Paul to talk about level 3 data optimization, which is something that we make available through these partnerships and through our integrations. So, Paul, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what this is and why it's valuable for our clients?
Sure. So if you're not familiar with level 3, basically interchange, quite honestly, I'll touch on exactly what that is and kind of like how the card brands have identified level 3 and basically the different interchange costs and values. So if you see the picture on the right side here, there's 3 different levels of processing, if you will. You have level 1 processing, which is a basic minimal requirements, right? Merchant name, transaction amount, transaction date at the transaction authorization capture levels. So you also have level 2, which you'll just see, and I'm not going to go through and read them, but requires a substantial more data fields there. You got tax indicator, you got merchant commodity codes, that sort of thing, tax amount, customer code, and then you got level 3. It's like every box is checked, right? So a ton of data fields, and if you can imagine from a customer's perspective, trying to put all of those data fields in every single transaction would be pretty archaic, right? Very time consuming and really tough. So what Paya has done is developed a tool or a product or a service called IAP, and that's basically Interchange Advantage Program. And what that does is it will basically ensure that when any transaction is authorized, we are evaluating that transaction at the gateway level and identifying where the best qualification could be. So let me back up a step. Level 1 qualification would be very minimal, which ultimately means it's going to cost a lot. A level 2 transaction, because of the additional data fields that are required, is going to be a little bit cheaper in interchange. And then you have level 3, which, like we said, all of these data fields are required. But what happens is the card brands, Visa, MasterCard specifically, they say, hey, you're actually entering all this data in, or you're providing us with all this data. We feel like that's a very secure transaction. Guess what? We're going to give you a discount on that interchange. So in a lot of cases, a level 3 card, level 3 is actually specific to business or corporate cards. But when those cards are actually the most expensive interchange costs. So your average your average corporate or business card will cost the merchant almost 3%, right around 3%, in some cases over 3% for the interchange cost. However, if you provide Visa and MasterCard with all of these data fields, like you see under the level 3 tab here, they will say, you know what, very secure. Now we're going to take it down to, instead of 2.9, we're going to give you 2.1, which, we have a little model here at the bottom, and it's a transaction, transaction for $1,000. We say typical rate here, 2.7, the lower rate down to 1.9. The delta there is what, 80 basis points. If my math is right. So like $8 in savings. But think about it overall. I mean, without enrichment, you're looking at $27. So I mean, that's close to, my math's not great, but I mean, that's close to 30% savings, or right around 30% savings. And when you think about that on, grand scheme, when, customers are processing, substantial amounts every month, I mean, that saving can be absolutely substantial. So again, back to kind of what the gateway and the tool and the product does. So it's able to, when we authorize a card, every card has a BIN, and that's basically the first 6 digits of the card. And that's going to identify what type of card it is. It's going to identify what type of card, meaning Visa, MasterCard, what association has issued that card, and then also what card brand. So it could be a Chase Visa or a Citi MasterCard or whatever. All of that data is within those first 6 digits of the card. And it also tell you exactly what type of card it is bucketed with interchange. So it says, hey, this is actually a card that is a corporate card that could achieve level 3 discounted interchange. So when we see that, what we're doing is ensuring that any data fields that are missing at the transactional level, we are actually making sure that all of those data fields are filled in. And basically we're sending all of that data along with the transaction, and basically kind of just doing that behind the scenes and sending all that data so the customer is achieving that discounted interchange. The service is at no cost. Every single customer that Paya has in their portfolio will be signed up for this service. It's, again, nothing that you have to anybody would have to call and ask for if it's an existing customer, or nobody new would have to ask for that. Obviously, with our pricing structures that we offer through Paya, whether it be interchange pass-through pricing, which is, a very transparent pricing that we're model, or, if a customer wants to be able to forecast exactly what they see and are going to spend in interchange and processing charges, and then we want a flat rate, that's something we can provide too. Flat rate pricing is obviously something that we can get very aggressive with when we realize that all of the transactions that could qualify for level 3 are. So we're able to provide very, very competitive pricing in the market because of this. So very exciting. I geek out on this stuff and could probably go on for a lot longer, but I know Leon wants to do a demo of the e-invoicing solution and customer portal that we have now. So I'll cover my mouth.
Hey, Paul, thanks so much. And this is one of those funny times where if I could have done one of these like stretch it out signals, it would have been good. Leon, unfortunately, is trying to get back into the webinar. He lost connectivity and he's working on getting back in. So what I will do is move on to e-invoicing. And thank you, by the way. That's a great overview of level 3. I'm excited about the functionality as well. I will provide an overview of our e-invoicing solution. And if we can get Leon back, we'll shoot for the demo. And if we can't, then we will create a recording and make it available to anyone who's attended so that they can see a walkthrough as a consolation. So e-invoicing is fairly straightforward from a conceptual perspective. Our goal was to create a very efficient way to reach payers with an invoice, right? So very straightforward. And why is this important? Well, I think it's one, you can get to your payer directly, which is nice. You're going to their inbox, and it's an efficient way to conduct your billing activity. You accelerate day sales outstanding or reduce those, and improve overall business performance because you're creating a revenue assurance structure as part of your platform. And that's something that we wanted to make available and wanted to enrich as much as possible. We've had this functionality for a while, but we've made some updates. So we thought it would be worth revisiting and sharing those updates with our VAR community and partners. So e-invoicing, as it says, it's a service available in Paya Connect, right? And we want to be able to email invoices. When they return, by the way, to make a payment, we have payment pages that we host. So it's an end-to-end seamless experience. We're also making it easy to create customized detailed invoices, and I'll talk about some of those features in the next couple of slides. The simple interface to create customized emails. So this is really part of the administrative side, but being able to tailor messages to your users. So you can customize the message, you can create branding as part of the presentation of the invoice, and then detail the actual payment information as well, or the invoice detail, excuse me. Facilitated payments on a secure Paya hosted page. So again, end to end. And then we do ACH and credit card to make sure that we accommodate as many different payment methods as a user might have or may want to pay with.
Hey Brent, I just want to just double click real quick on the simple interface for customized emails. I think that's very important. Heard from a lot of different customers that this is a very important piece to them, that we created an e-invoicing solution and a customer portal that they can white label to make their own for their customers. So I just wanted to double click and say, hey, like, this is something that we've heard. It's something that we made as a gateway enhancement to ensure that white labeling is completely possible and also very easy and seamless. So just wanted to double click there. Thanks.
Great call out. That's a really good point. So absolutely. So the customization of the invoice itself is really tailor made for our partners and clients to customize. Absolutely. All right, and so moving on, let's take a quick look at some of the functionality. So what is new? So we've got a very different look and feel than we had in the past, which was much more text-based and a little bit more rudimentary in design. So they're clear, easy to read. We've also got user prompts on the screen, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But we really tried to follow good UI standards to ensure that the look and feel of the invoice is similar to the types of invoices they may see from other online businesses that they may experience, right? So it's sort of a notion of the consumerization of IT. We all have our expectations being defined by the technologies we use on a day-to-day basis. And the companies that provide those services all adhere to web standards or moving to web and UI standards, and we want to do the same thing. So really ensuring that we're keeping up with those standards and presenting content and information in a way that's familiar in terms of the controls, icons, font styles, and layout. We have side-by-side tiles, right? So visualizing the data in a very easy and concise way. So invoice detail on one side, payment methods on the other, just making it very uniform and very easy to understand. The new dynamic status bar changes color to alert customers, and I'll show you another view of that. But at the very top, it says monthly service invoice July. That has a due date, and then there's an invoice number. And we can use visual cues to help a user understand when the bill is ready or presented, when it's getting close to being due, and then when it's past due. So it's an opportunity to visually help people understand when a payment is needed. Some other things that we've highlighted, we like to highlight, right? So we can download, we've enabled a download, we prompt for that. Again, the side-by-side view, we have credit, ACH payments and credit card. And then the simplified payment form really just helps the user complete the transaction as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So just getting the information that we need, customizable and dynamic. So again, Paul mentioned being able to white label. So we do have the ability to replace the icons. We can personalize items, so we can use, again, information that we have on file to help tailor the message. And then dynamic status bar, as I mentioned, right? So we have color cues to help ensure that a user understands the urgency of payment needed for the particular invoice. And then last, we offer partial payment. So being able to take an invoice and make a partial payment, a remaining balance is shown. The other thing that we don't have in the slides that I'd like to call out is we also have the ability to pay multiple invoices at once. So if you have several invoices that are outstanding or past due, you can aggregate those into a single payment. So we're also enabling that through new functionality in the platform. The great news is the setup is fairly straightforward. So any partner or merchant who's using Paya Connect today can take advantage of the e-invoicing service. So you can do it through Paya Connect or via API. So that's something that's also an advantage. If somebody has a custom environment that they need to use, they can connect to us to issue or request an issuance of the invoice on behalf of their system. There's no additional cost for the functionality, but it needs to be enabled. And once it's enabled, Again, as we showed you, a lot of customization that's available, a lot of features that we can use to help tailor the message and ensure that you're reaching your payors as efficiently as possible. We also have the ability to schedule follow-up reminders as well. So it's a great way to automate the process and make the overall invoicing process much more efficient. And we're hopeful that the functionality that we've added in the recent edition of this will further enhance the experience for users and the administrators and make the process even more efficient than it has been in the past. Paul, any additional thoughts on this one?
No, and it looks like Leon's actually returned, so we might be able to go into actual demo. But I think, yeah, I mean, I wanted to maybe just double click really quick on enhancements, right? I mean, we're this is a somewhat new, or I'm sorry, yeah, it's a somewhat new product for Paya, and the way it integrates with the different ERP solutions that we have integrations with on this gateway. We're really still continuing to listen to customers and build this out. So our gateway is very easy to work with, and enhancements are going to come to the products over the next 2-3 quarters and beyond, quite honestly. If we can find specific ways to make life easier for Sage, X3, 100, Acumatica, Intacct users, we're listening. We'd love to hear feedback, and we'll continue to make enhancements there.
Absolutely. Great call out, Paul. Thank you so much. All right. And I do see Leon's back, and we're communicating offline here. I think we're going to do a demo. And just to make sure that the platform is as stable as possible, we're going to turn off our cameras, Leon, and let you just take the stage. And this will be an Intacct demo, correct?
That is correct. Yes. Thank you.
Sure. All right. Take it away when you're ready.
All right, I'm going to share my screen here in just 1 second, and just kind of a quick call out, gentlemen. Thank you very much. My apologies, audience, here for the disconnect. This is kind of a real-time environment, so you can see teamwork at its best here, and Brent and Paul kept things afloat for me, and happy to be back here and kind of walk us through the demo. But again, you can see kind of real time how we pull together as a team. So that's what we offer here at Paya. So without further ado, let's jump into the demo. So what we're going to look at here, this is Sage Intacct. And we're going to look at the e-invoicing solution, the simplicity. I think Brent has had the opportunity to kind of walk us through the steps, the different screenshots, talked a little bit about the feature sets, the functionalities, and how and where it makes the difference for our end users, as well as with our partners. And so now we're going to take a look at it real time. So from our Intacct environment here, we're just going to open up one of our invoices here, and we'll take a quick glance here. So we're going to view, and we'll take a look at this invoice here. So a couple of things that we'll call out here, which is probably pretty familiar, but we'll call them out here for the folks that are new to the Intacct space here. So you'll have your invoice date, the due date, the number of days that the invoice is due, invoice amount. We'll have all these details here towards the top. And again, all the customer's information is kind of surrounded here towards the middle of the page. Once you scroll down, you have the ability to see the line items. Again, this line item here, one entry, $7,500. This information is all kind of carried over, and it's pretty native. It's pretty standard with Intacct. Where things get a little special here for us, we do have kind of an embedded integration here that allows you to pay with Paya directly within the invoice, right? So you could do that here, or for the sake of this demonstration, we're talking about the e-invoicing solution. So what you would have the capability of doing is selecting the print/email option here. You'll have the ability to either print this, which we'll print in a PDF, and we'll take a look at that, or you can email this directly to your clients. Okay. Ultimately, what's going to happen, I'll expand the screen, but ultimately what's going to happen is once the end user receives that email, he or she's going to receive this attachment here. And they're going to be able to open up the invoice, and they'll see all the pertinent details surrounding that invoice here towards the top, logos, again, the dollar amount, all those expected details that you look forward to when you receive an invoice, if you look forward to receiving those. But once you've scrolled through that, the end user then has the capability of clicking the click here button. Now, once that takes place, this is kind of where all the magic happens, and this is again where Brent kind of had the opportunity, and Paul had the opportunity to kind of walk you through some of those parts that I should have covered for you, but I get the live stuff, so I still get the good part of this. On the left side of the screen here, we have the tiles that'll walk you through again the invoice date, the balance due, the due date, the line items that were selected within Intacct. That information is going to show. For the sake of this demonstration, it was one line item, right? So we have that one line item, but if there were multiple line items, we would see those cascading here, as well as the dollar amounts. Now, on the right side of the tile, it's pretty straightforward, but nice, clean, simple, but effective. So the end user has the capability of selecting the payment method, whether it's credit card or they're going to make a payment here using ACH. So very straightforward tile because you click the icon and that's going to navigate you through kind of the wizard here that is going to allow you to enter in the card number, expiration date, the name on the card, the billing address, zip code, and finally checking the box to agree to the payment. If we go back here to the ACH portion here, pretty straightforward, pretty simple, but again, it's altered for ACH. So your standard information, the bank account type, routing number, account number, and so forth. So again, pretty straightforward, pretty basic, but this allows the end user to quickly identify what he or she needs to do when they're completing the transaction and move on with their day. At the top of the screen here, we have the dynamic color scheme that we use here to show that this is an open invoice, so this is a green invoice. Now, if we were on the actual due date, this would be more of kind of an amber color, more of an orange color. If we were past due, which hopefully that's not the case, but if we were past due, this would be a pretty bright red, indicating for the customers that payment is due, along with the notifications that are customizable and that can be triggered within Paya Connect. So again, pretty straightforward, but really giving the customers a nice clean interface and a simple interface to operate with and make their payments. And of course, there's some flexibility and some customizations available here for our partners to be able to kind of tweak the look and feel on a couple of things here, and constant enhancements are made to this particular feature set. So we're going to kind of move forward here. So we have the credit card tab here. So let's just pop in some information. And as you can see, as I enter in the card number, system is intuitive enough to recognize that it's a test Visa card that we're putting in here. So that's going to display for us. We'll pop in some more information here. Make this Main Street. Our zip code comes in. We'll check our box here. Once we check the box, as you can see, our pay button now illuminates. Prior to checking the box, you cannot proceed without that. So a couple built-in features here, just again, simplify the process and making sure that we're going through as smoothly as possible as we're going through this process. We're going to select pay. Oh, we have to put an expiration date in. Sorry about that. Now the expiration date goes, and now we can actually pay. And once we hit the pay option here, what we'll see is a couple of things. One, great, the invoice and the payment has been accepted. We see the payment amount, we see the payment date, the last four of the card number, the transaction ID, and the 6-digit authorization code, and the remaining balance. Now, in this case here, we pay the full balance, but if we made a partial payment here, the remaining balance would display. So, and the option to print this, if we select that, it's going to kind of give us a PDF form here that we can print, download, and email this off. But again, as mentioned earlier in today's session, there are built-in feature sets within Paya Connect that gives you the capability of, once a payment is made, to automatically generate and send that email to the customer. So the customers have actually a couple of ways of receiving that that confirmation, which is pretty handy. But this is the simplicity, and this is how basic but how robust our e-invoicing solution is here within Intacct. It allows you to get in, and within a matter of minutes, you can create an invoice, send an invoice to a customer, have a customer make that payment, and all that information takes place seamlessly and posts back into Intacct for you. Britt, that is going to cover the portion today for the e-invoicing demonstration. And I'll kick it back over to you. And I will stop sharing.
Leon, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
So we've concluded our presentation today. So thank you all for your patience with the technical difficulties. We're glad we were able to have you back, Leon, and walk through that for us. Folks, I want to thank you very much for your time today. Thanks for joining our VAR community update, and we will look forward to speaking to you again soon with another update on Key Paya business. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.